darling from Oklahoma, was the next man up. Shedeur Sanders, fifth-round flyer legacy pick. A PR move at best. That's how it was supposed to go. And yet, that script is currently burning in a trash can behind the practice facility. Because Shedeur Sanders just cooked the Browns' starting defense. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. Not with first-team reps, not with the A-list receivers. No, he did it with the second team, facing one of the nastiest offensive units in the league. And he still outshined a hand-picked QB1 candidate. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel, the guy they're trying to hype as the future, stumbled through reps with the starters. Timing off, accuracy shaky, presence kinda missing. And fans aren't the only ones noticing. Players are talking. Coaches are dodging. And the building buzz around Shedeur is starting to sound a lot like a quarterback controversy that the Browns really didn't want. It all started with that draft day awkwardness. Shedeur, a Heisman-caliber QB at Colorado with NFL lineage and a media footprint bigger than some franchises, slipped all the way to the fifth round. Whether it was politics, fit, or just a league-wide refusal to take Deion Sanders' son seriously, nobody expected Cleveland to grab him, least of all Jimmy Haslam, who, according to reports, tried to distance himself from the pick almost immediately. Classic Browns. You'd think a team with their quarterback history would be a little more open-minded, but instead, they doubled down on Gabriel, handing him the golden reps, the top-tier receivers, and every advantage they could manufacture. Meanwhile, Shedeur was tossed in with the backups, as if that would be enough to cool the hype. It wasn't. From day one, Shedeur looked sharper, crisper, cooler. His ball placement, surgical. His reads, fast. His leadership, instant. But instead of adjusting to what they were seeing, the Browns brass stuck to the script. The guy taken higher gets the longer leash. And the guy who keeps proving himself just has to wait. But then came the scrimmage that flipped everything on its head. Shedeur gets thrown in against the starting defense. Supposedly a mismatch. Myles Garrett breathing down your neck. Denzel Ward lurking in the secondary. This is the moment where most young quarterbacks fold. Shedeur didn't fold. He flourished. He moved through progressions like a vet. He evaded pressure with poise. He threw strikes into tight windows, leading his makeshift offense to back-to-back scoring drives. The defense wasn't taking it easy, either. They wanted to rattle him, but Shedeur didn't blink. And just like that, the locker room vibe shifted. Players started whispering about it. Some said it out loud. One receiver reportedly told a reporter, "That's our guy. He just gets it." Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel continued getting every benefit of the doubt. He had the best linemen, the starting receivers, the A-list game plan. And still, inconsistent reads. Late throws, missed checkdowns. The offense under Gabriel felt sluggish, directionless, and worst of all, forgettable. And yet, the Browns coaching staff kept parroting the same tired script. "It's an open competition," they said. "We like what we're seeing from both guys." Really? You like seeing one QB who's outperforming expectations with half the support, while the other looks overwhelmed with every advantage? Be serious. Behind closed doors, the politics are obvious. Gabriel was picked higher, and that means admitting Shedeur is better would also mean admitting a mistake. And Jimmy Haslam, Cleveland's chaos magnet of an owner, is not known for graceful pivots. There's also the Deion effect. Let's not pretend the NFL isn't weirdly uncomfortable with Coach Prime's larger-than-life shadow. Taking on Shedeur means accepting the narrative that Deion might have been right, and that's a tough pill for some of these old-school execs to swallow. But the numbers don't lie. The film doesn't lie. And the mood in that building, it's shifting. Because while Gabriel struggles to lead, Shedeur is commanding respect. His teammates rally around him. He talks like a leader, carries himself like a pro, and most importantly, plays like one. You don't need to squint to see the NFL traits. They're already there. Even fans at training camp are starting to chant his name. The local media, once dismissive, is slowly coming around. You can only ignore stats and poise for so long before the crowd starts turning on the narrative. And here's the part where it gets really messy. What happens next? Do the Browns cling to their original plan, stubbornly pretending this is all just part of the development process? Or do they do the thing they almost never do, admit they were wrong early and make the bold choice? Because this isn't just about reps or preseason optics. This is about a guy who might actually be the future. And he's not asking for the spotlight. He's taking it. Gabriel, for all the potential, just doesn't seem ready. He's not inspiring confidence in the huddle. He's not hitting the moments that matter. You don't have to be a quarterback whisperer to feel the difference. And Shedeur, he's making it feel inevitable. The locker room knows it. The defense knows it. The fans know it. So how long can the coaching staff keep up the charade? The worst part is, this isn't even unusual for Cleveland. This is the same team that's burned through more quarterbacks than most people have house keys. They've clung to bad choices, doubled down on doom plans, and let politics get in the way of progress. So when they do stumble into something real, someone with talent, composure, and the it factor, you'd think they'd pounce on it. But so far, crickets. If Shedeur Sanders was a third-round pick and Gabriel was a fifth, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Shedeur will be taking first-team reps already, but because the names are swapped, the coaching staff is treating the obvious answer like a trick question. The irony? By trying to manage the optics, the Browns are just making it worse. Every time Gabriel underwhelms and Shedeur shines, the pressure builds. Every missed read is magnified. Every dime Shedeur drops with the backups adds another crack in the wall. And when the dam breaks, it's not going to be quiet. Because if this continues into preseason games, and Sanders keeps outperforming Gabriel on the field under the lights, in front of real crowds, there's no spinning it. The fans will turn. The narrative will flip. And the Browns front office will once again find itself scrambling to explain why they couldn't recognize talent staring them in the face. And let's be real, Cleveland doesn't need another PR mess, but they might be walking straight into one. So now the question isn't if Shedeur Sanders is the future of this team. It's how long they can pretend he isn't. Because you can't hide electricity. You can't bury momentum. And you definitely can't keep a real QB1 on the bench just to protect someone's ego. Shedeur Sanders didn't ask for a controversy. But if playing better than your competition is controversial, maybe the real problem isn't him. It's the people trying to write him out of the story. So Browns fans, buckle up. The winds are shifting. And unless the front office pulls its head out of the sand soon, we might be watching yet another Cleveland meltdown. Only this time, it's because they were too afraid to believe in the guy who earned it. Oh, it's definitely not over. In fact, it feels like we're standing right at the edge of the storm. Because the Shedeur Sanders situation, it's not just a quarterback controversy. It's a full-blown identity crisis for the Cleveland Browns. Think about it. When was the last time this team developed a quarterback, not just threw one into the fire and hoped for the best, but actually nurtured someone with clear potential, backed them, and built around their strengths? Don't worry, I'll wait. And now that they finally have someone in Shedeur who shows elite processing mental toughness and the kind of locker room charisma that makes teammates run through walls, they're treating him like an afterthought. Let's talk about the reps, because that's where things get real shady. Gabriel has been getting every starter benefit imaginable. He's got the first team line protecting him. He's got the top receiving weapons. He's even been allowed to run more scripted plays designed to build rhythm and confidence. Shedeur, he's running with the 2s and 3s, getting pressured on every dropback, playing with receivers fighting for practice squad spots. His pocket collapses faster. His windows are tighter. His margin for error, basically non-existent. And still, he's performing better. What does that tell you? It tells you that talent shines, even in chaos. That leadership doesn't need a microphone or a PR machine. It shows up when the lights are on and the stakes are real. And it tells you that maybe, just maybe, the Browns are staring their franchise QB in the face and choosing to look the other way. Now, to be fair, there's some logic to easing a rookie into the system. It's smart not to rush a young QB just to satisfy fan hype. But let's not pretend that's what's happening here. This isn't about protecting Shedeur. It's about protecting the front office from looking like they drafted the wrong guy higher. And honestly, it's kind of insulting. Not just to Shedeur, but to the fans. Cleveland has been through it. The city knows football. They know what it looks like when a quarterback has it. They've waited years, decades, for someone to show up and actually look like the future. And now that someone finally has, they're being told to just be patient, that we should trust the process. Please, this process is the same one that brought us Johnny Manziel, Cody Kessler, Deshaun Kaiser, Brandon Whedon. Need I go on? We're supposed to just keep waiting while Gabriel throws 5-yard outs into the turf? Here's a wild thought. Maybe it's time to break the cycle. Maybe, just this once, the Browns should let performance dictate the depth chart, not draft position. Reward the guy who's showing you, right now, that he can handle it, because the locker room sees it, the tape shows it, and the fan base, they're already picking sides. And if you think a slow, simmering quarterback controversy is going to blow over quietly in a city like Cleveland, you clearly don't know what happens when passion meets dysfunction. Let's also talk about intangibles, because Shedeur has been dripping with them since day one. He carries himself like he knows he belongs. Not cocky, but confident, measured, focused. You don't see panic in his eyes when a blitz is coming. You see calculation. You see leadership. And most importantly, you see composure. That's rare, especially for someone thrust into a backup role, with the media circus always looming thanks to his famous last name. The pressure? Immense. The spotlight? Unforgiving. And yet Shedeur has stayed cool, focused, unshaken. Compare that to Gabriel, who, by all accounts, is trying his best, but looks more like a project than a pro. His throws lack consistency. His decision-making isn't there yet. And when the pocket collapses, he panics. You can feel it. The moment speeds up, and he's not keeping pace. It's not hate. It's not a knock on his potential. But right now, he's not the guy. And here's the other angle nobody's talking about. The ripple effect. When you let the better performer sit behind the less effective player, it sends a message. It tells your locker room that merit doesn't matter. That politics win. And that kind of vibe, it spreads. Wide receivers get frustrated. Defensive players start questioning the game plan. Trust erodes. And in a league where culture matters just as much as talent, that erosion happens fast. But if you put in Shedeur, if you reward the guy who earned it, suddenly the locker room locks in. The offense gets sharper. The energy shifts. You're no longer just developing a quarterback. You're galvanizing a team. The coaching staff needs to ask themselves something real. Are they more afraid of being wrong about Gabriel, or are they afraid of being right about Shedeur? Because those are very different fears. Being wrong about Gabriel? That's embarrassing. It makes you look foolish, sure. But being right about Shedeur and ignoring it? That's unforgivable. That's how you lose not just games, but people. Let's also not ignore what's happening outside the facility. The media is starting to turn. Beat writers who were brushing off Shedeur and May are now calling his reps NFL ready. Analysts are pointing to his footwork, his anticipation, his presence. Fans on social media, they're not subtle. Clips of Shedeur dropping dimes are getting more traction than anything Gabriel's done all camp. It's not a competition anymore. It's a narrative shift, a vibe check, a referendum on whether the Browns have the guts to do the right thing. And here's the funny part. They actually do have an out. They can frame it however they want. Shedeur forced our hand. We're following the tape. This is about winning, not ego. Any of those lines work. Because everyone wants to believe that this time, the Browns are going to get it right. But that window, it's closing fast. Preseason games are coming. And if Shedeur lights it up under the lights, with the cameras rolling and the crowd roaring, the dam will break. There won't be enough cliches in the world to keep him on the bench. Fans will demand it. Players will expect it. The media will roast anyone who tries to spin it otherwise. And honestly, that might be the best thing for the Browns. Sometimes you need to be forced into a good decision. Sometimes pressure makes diamonds. And sometimes the kid you tried to stash on the bench